Hi guys, Lenwood here. Mason was not feeling well and asked me to instruct this video, and as brothers, I am pleased to do it. He wanted this video to be about the entered apprentice of Freemasonry. If you like this and want to see more, please hit the subscribe button in the lower right corner. Thanks. Okay, we have covered the history of the Grand Lodge of Florida, how to join a lodge of Freemasons, and now let's say you have become a Freemason. You have become an entered apprentice. This is the first step all Masons before you have followed. The word apprentice, which throughout the many languages that use it, always means a learner, a beginner, or one who has passed through the first stage of birth into a new world. An apprentice is a beginner in Masonry. He is a learner of the law and teachings of that which Masons describe as the royal art. For Masonry is an art, one of the finest there is, and he is one in the process of being born into the world of Masonry, so different from the profane, or uninitiated, world, a world by itself, with its own nature and laws, its own culture and fellowship, its own purposes and ideals. This fact that Masonry is a world by itself, with a life of its own, is clearly suggested by the nomenclature of the craft. In a broad and general fashion, all 3 degrees together are described as initiation, but in a stricter sense it is the apprentice who is initiated. A candidate is initiated and entered apprentice, passed a fellow craft, and raised a master mason. This usage is literally correct, for initiation means in its true and original sense, a birth. It applies peculiarly to the beginner of the first degree because he is one who is just born, or is about to be born, into the Masonic life. Nor is the word life itself a misnomer. To a casual observer, Freemasonry might appear to be a kind of artificial thing, like the wearing of a fancy dress at some costume ball, something with roots deep in experience, a luxury rather than a necessity. The same kind of observer might also consider the rites of initiation to be a series of formalities or colorful ceremonies not to be taken seriously. An experienced Freemason, however, knows differently. He knows that Masonry is a way of life, a mode of living, which moves in him and helps to shape his life all of the time, whether inside lodge or out. Well, goodness, hi brother Bruce, what a pleasure in seeing you here. I was telling the folks about the teachings of the entered apprentice.
Yes, brother Linwood, I was in the other room and heard you talking. You're doing an outstanding job. Carry on, my brother.
Since an apprentice is beginning a new life rather than a formality, it follows that if he is sincere in his undertaking, he will make an earnest effort to understand the entered apprentice degree. That degree, as will be shown later, is not to be taken as a mere bridge to be crossed and then forgotten. It is the first appearance of Masonry in the candidate's experience. Masonry does not lie waiting at the end of the 3rd degree. It is present in the first. And though it does not reveal itself there in full, yet it is there, as much so as it ever will be elsewhere. If an apprentice does not embrace it there in an earnest desire to win for himself all that it has to give him, it is difficult to know where else he may then be expected to do so. From the official and institutional point of view, the status of an entered apprentice is a modest one. He cannot be a full member of a lodge, with a voice or vote in it. He may sit in a lodge only when it is opened in the 1st degree. He is not entitled to hold office. He may not join in public processions. He is a man on probation, and what he shall be hereafter will be determined by what account he gives of himself during this period of trial. It is his duty to be obedient to his superiors, to trust his leaders, to follow his guide and fear no danger. But while all this is true, there is a larger sense in which the 1st degree stands on a level of equal dignity with any other honor or degree. In a lodge of ancient craft Masonry, the 1st degree serves at least 5 important purposes. It is a first step in initiation. As such, it is over and done with when its last word is spoken, and if a candidate has been regularly made in a regular lodge, he will never be required to go through it again. It defines and creates a status, a grade, a rank, of which a brief description was given in the paragraph just above. Here again, and in this particular sense, it is over and done with when it is over. It contains the obligation of entered apprentice, wherein he binds himself to do and not to do certain things, upon his honor as a man. And in certain respects, This obligation forms the basis of the disciplinary law to which every apprentice is held. In other respects, it contains duties that will be binding on him throughout his whole Masonic career. Again, the degree puts the apprentice in possession of certain modes of recognition. These he will always need, because even after he has become a Master Mason, he will have occasion to exchange them with entered apprentices. Lastly, the degree contains a set of teachings which remain permanent throughout all of Masonry, binding on Masons of whatever degree. Let's break this up into two parts. It is so important. Again, if you like this video, please help us out and hit the subscribe button. See you soon.